Hello friends, my name is Koolio and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're taking a first look impressions video for Spiritwish, a sort of Tree of Savior style mobile MMORPG with like a twist behind it, which I'll get into a little bit later in this video. However, usually I like to jump right into the video, show you the gameplay and everything. But for this, I decided to start at the character select screen because when it comes to this game, the big unique twist behind it is that you have a group of heroes. You have 3 heroes on your team that you can take out into the world, battling bosses, grinding through monsters and everything like that. Now, if you click here on the far left, you'll be able to select those heroes. Now, I'm not super far into the game, so I've only got my basic 3. I've got my fighter, my archer, and my cleric. Now, this is a mobile MMORPG. It looks a lot like Tree of Savior. However, and if you guys have watched any of my previous videos of MMOs that are designed for the mobile platform, you know they're not really MMORPGs. They're more MMO hero management or character management games. Now, this game is a hero management game. You go through and you collect heroes and everything like that. You have to manage them. You have to make sure they're powerful enough in certain areas. There is auto combat. There is auto questing. However, I think I don't really mind it with this game because since you have a variety of different heroes, I'm okay with kind of going through and managing them rather than simply just playing through the game. Plus, the game looks absolutely beautiful. You can play it vertically or horizontally, which I think looks awesome. Now, when it comes to the game, when you're playing through and you're completing quests, you're defeating monsters and stuff like that, you are going to have to manage your character's abilities, like which abilities they take into certain dungeons, which items you want them to equip and everything like that. And that's where I think like this game really shines, is it takes that aspect of hero management and that's where it runs with it. When you play like a single player or a single character MMO game, you want to play as that character. For this one, I'm okay with the fact that, you know, it's an auto play type game. Now, when you're going through and you're collecting these different heroes, you'll get items and materials and things like that only certain heroes can wear, and you have to decide which items you get for certain quests, because which hero is, you know, weaker than other ones, which items that you need to upgrade through the forging system and things like that. So what I'm going to do is let's just go ahead and turn on the auto combat. Now, one thing I have found in this game is there are a lot of people in it. There's tons of players. Sometimes it can be difficult to get certain monsters if you have to like take down like 10 monsters at once. Other players may be killing them. There's so many people on the screen too because everyone has 3 characters that they're collecting that it can be a little tedious trying to everything that's kind of going on the screen. Another thing that I've noticed too is you can touch and move your characters around if you don't want them to auto path around. Let me just go ahead and skip to that. So you can move them around. If I want them to kind of go up on the stairs right here, you'll have to turn off auto if you don't want them to automatically start attacking enemies nearby. However, sometimes I found like if I'm trying to click on certain UI elements, like on the bag and stuff like that, I find that sometimes my characters will just automatically start moving towards the area because I've accidentally like clicked it like that. So that's one thing that kind of bugs me, but it's not too bad. Another thing too that I like, I just want to let you guys know, it's nothing super big, is you can zoom in really far and see the characters, but I don't recommend doing that because the character models look really good from a distance. I would probably say the medium one looks really, really good. The far one, you get like a good glimpse of the environment itself. So let's just go ahead and do some auto questing as we're playing through this right now so I can show you some of the actual gameplay mechanics. Now, just because the game does have auto pathing and auto questing doesn't mean that there's no challenge behind it. Now, I came across a boss and I was fighting it. Luckily, my characters were strong enough that I didn't really have to pay too much attention if I just wanted them to kind of auto attack it. However, it did give me a glimpse into future boss battles because my characters did get pretty low, but they were fine. Like they did okay taking the boss down. However, I do know that like if you're going to be going up against bigger bosses and higher tier dungeons and stuff like that, you're going to want to make sure that you have the right abilities equipped onto your character, and you're going to want to make sure that you're actually manually using your characters moving around, because the bosses will telegraph where they're going to attack, and then you can kind of move them around like this and try to get them out of the damage area. So yeah, there's some challenge to the game later on. Earlier on, it is going to be moved from here to there, attacking this enemy, attacking that enemy. And then you see on the bottom left, there's kind of like an equipment thing that just popped up. I'm going to go ahead and select on that. What that does is it automatically equips that item that I just received from a monster drop onto the character that it can equip it. Whichever one will gain the best stats from equipping that specific item. Now, when I play through MMOs, PC, mobile, whatever, I love it when enemies drop items for your characters. I absolutely, in fact, I just got, look at this, I'm getting tons of items simply just by grinding through these enemies. I love that. I'm not the biggest fan of, and I understand, like, I don't mind it too much when you're completing quests and then you get the items that you want through the quest. I love it when enemies drop items that can actually be useful for your character, so I don't feel like I'm wasting my time simply grinding through some of these. Now you can see my characters are going around trying to fight these ugly rat-looking monsters, and I've only been able to collect 3 of them so far because there's so many other players around trying to kill these monsters as well. So it's a little bit difficult trying to take down some of these mobs because everyone's trying to fight over them. So that can be kind of a little bit of a hassle. It looks like maybe they moved out of the way. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more. Now, the characters I have, I've got a fighter, a cleric, and an archer, kind of like my tank, DPS, and healer. But like I said, you can eventually unlock more and more characters as you progress through the game. I haven't personally unlocked any new ones, but when I do, I might make a video later in the future if you guys want to see that. Now, they do have an item shop you can go through and buy different items and things like that, but I haven't seen anything really to buy equipment or anything like that, pay-to-win element. But I don't really speak Korean, which the game has officially released for the Korean servers, which I'll leave a website or links down below if you guys want to download it. Now let's go ahead and check out the inventory. Now I do actually like their inventory. It looks really clean, it looks super slick. One thing that kind of bugs me, and maybe it's just me, but if I'm looking through the different types of items that I have, like let's say armor, those are the armor equipment, the armor that I currently have. If I leave and go back into it, it stays on that armor spot instead of going back to the all one. And sometimes that bugs me a little bit, not too much. That's super nitty gritty. Let me just tell you, I'm being really nitpicky here. But sometimes I'll come back and be on like the armor screen or something like that and be like, what the heck? Where's my weapons at? And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on the wrong spot. That's just kind of a little nitpicky thing there. But like I said before too, you get different rarities of items throughout the game. You can upgrade them as well. So I just got this new handkerchief thing for my character, giving him 899 HP. I'm going to go ahead and actually forge it and go through the forging system and upgrade. Now you can upgrade, you give them a plus, like +1, +2, and things like that, making them more powerful. However, the higher the rarity the item is, the more gold and the more other items you're going to need in order to enhance that specific item. So if I go ahead and click on that, it's going to cost me 420 gold, and I'm not even near the +1 rank for this. So it does take a little bit of time, a little bit of grinding in order to do that. I don't think I've got, maybe I can probably upgrade this sword right here. I just barely received it from a quest. Let's go ahead and use all of these, and look at that, now I'm at +6. Perfect. Now when you're playing through and you're completing quests, another thing that I was a little confused on, and I'm hopefully be able to rectify that confusion for you guys, is when you're completing a quest, this little menu will pop up with a whole bunch of different weapons on it, or a whole bunch of different armor or whatever, and it'll have your character's icons next to it. What that specifically means is it's asking you what one item do you want to select and which hero are you wanting that for. Like for example, my knight hero, my fighter, can use swords, and so it might pop up, there's a sword, a staff, and maybe like a mace. Now if I select the sword one, I'll get it, and that's the only item I get, but I'm specifically choosing that one to strengthen up my fighter. Now, my fighter is pretty strong compared to my other characters because he's got that really nice weapon, so maybe the next time I receive a good weapon, I'll probably pick the cleric one. So it's kind of that way of, you min-maxing your characters and trying to decide which ones you want to use. Now you can see right here there are tons and tons of players moving around, and yeah, it can get really, really hectic. I don't know, it's going to probably take me a while to even get through this area to take down some of these minions, because you've got to get that kill on them if you want to eventually unlock it. One thing I'm hoping to be able to show you is there are these special boss fights that you can unlock as you're playing through the game, and you can choose the difficulty of that specific boss. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pick the 1-star difficulty. There's a whole bunch of ones that you can fight, selecting different difficulties for each of them, different dungeons that you can enter into. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to select on this boss one right here, and we're going to jump into it and see if we can't do fairly good. So hopefully we'll be able to take this boss down, but it'll kind of show you what I meant when you want to pay attention to the boss. Now, I'm probably going to do fine. He's level 10. My guys are level 9. I'm already hurting him like a ton, but you can see, like, if I move out of the way, that way he doesn't hurt me, and then I can get back into the fight. Ooh, let's back up a little bit, try to get out of there before he attacks. So yeah, you're going to want to pay attention. Now, I have noticed one thing too, for anyone that decides to play this game outside of Korea, is because there's telegraphs for the different bosses and stuff, even if I move out of the way, the servers think I'm still closer to it than I visually am to myself. So there's a little bit of lag there. So just a little bit of a warning for you guys to pay attention to, and I was not paying attention to that boss. So we'll probably be able to take this guy down fairly easily. Now on the far right, you see that there's that auto combat thing kind of going on. If I select the semi-auto off, what it'll do is my characters will, or turn semi-auto on, my characters won't use their abilities. So I actually have to manually use those abilities. So if I need to heal up my characters, activate my my cleric to heal him up, if she'll heal him. I don't know why she's not doing it. I think I have to select a character. Oh, I guess we finished it. That's probably why. Now, you can only enter these dungeons so many times, but talking about those abilities before is I like the fact that you can turn off auto combat and it's not super forceful. There's some games where like it just constantly turns the auto combat on all the time. This one, you can turn the semi-auto on and you can turn the auto combat off so your characters won't attack. Semi-auto means you have to activate your abilities, which I think semi-auto is most likely what we're going to be using when we get into those higher boss fights and stuff like that. You know, having to specifically use certain abilities at specific times and the like that. So, well guys, that is Spiritwish. A little bit of a preview, a little bit of a first impressions for you. I actually really like this game. It's a game that I don't mind is more of a more on the casual auto combat style size, because I like the aesthetics for this game. I like the combat, everything runs really smoothly. I like slowly progressing each of my characters. I like unlocking new things. I like the items that are constantly dropping all the time, powering up my characters. It's a game that gives you little rewards here and there constantly to keep you going, and I really enjoy that. And I love the, like I said, I love the aesthetics, the overall design of the game. And so if you guys want to see more gameplay footage for Spiritwish in the future, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know if you guys are playing this game, what you guys think about it, what you guys are enjoying, what you guys aren't enjoying. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date in the latest in mobile gaming. Well friends, I'll see you next time.